Hello everyone, photographer Andredesignz here with a new retouch video, and as you can see, I'll be retouching this image that is on my screen. I've already retouched this image. It's on my Instagram page, but today I want to show you guys how I actually retouch the image. It's a quick retouch actually because there's not much I need to do. Alright, so if you notice, the image is not level, so that's the first thing I'm going to correct. But before I do that, let's just go through the settings real quick. So I was using the Sony a7 III camera. It was a 28-75mm Tamron lens. I was shooting at 2.8, as you can see right here. I was shooting high-speed sync. My shutter speed was 1/1600 of a second, and my ISO was at 100. All right, so let's get right to it. The first thing I'm going to do is to rotate this image, crop and rotate the image. So I'm going to press C on the keyboard for the crop tool. And because I've always been using the crop tool, it saves the default option I've selected, which is the 4:5 or 4:5 ratio, which would be the 8:10 size for the Instagram portrait size. Alright, so the image is not level, as you can see right here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put my cursor right here, and then I'm just going to rotate it a little bit like that so it's level, like that. Good. Then I'm going to move the image over a little bit more so both sides will have the same space from the edge. Good. I'm going to press enter, and then that looks kind of okay. I think I need to adjust this side a little bit more, maybe like that, and then like that. Good. Enter. Alright, so the image is dark, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'm just going to start working on the model's face. Alright, so I'm just going to come right here and create a new layer, and then I'm going to remove any pimples or anything on the face. Her face is clean right now. I don't see much I need to remove, but I'm just going to press J on the keyboard for the J, and then Shift J until I see the patch tool. Good. And then I'm just going to remove these little things from the face. Alright, just these little things here. Alright, good. So I'm just gonna zoom out a little bit, or zoom down. Actually, she does have some small pimples, some very small ones. Alright, I think this is the light reflection, I think. So even though the model face may look clean, if you zoom it up, trust me, you're gonna find some stuff that you need to remove. Alright, good. That looks good. Alright, so right now I'm seeing, like, what happened is that we were under a tree. Well, a tree is over the little area, so we have some sunlight coming through. So what I have to do now is to remove some of these shadows. Alright, that didn't came out well. I think that's good. Alright, let me see if there's anything else I need to remove. Not seeing anything else really. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do now is some dodge and burning. But before I do the dodge and burning, I have to apply the frequency separation action. I always keep my radius at 6.4, and there are times I do it at 10. I don't even know the difference, trust me. But I think the lower the radius is the more realistic the model skin would actually look. Alright, so I'm going to go down to the low frequency layer. I'm going to press M on the keyboard for my mixer brush. But your mixer brush is normally nested under brushes. So once you hold on the brushes, you'll see your mixer brush. Ensure that this is cleared. Ensure that you're at 2% for the wetness. And for everything else remains the same. So what we're going to do right now is just even out the skin. Alright. So I'm just going to take my time and just brush, just even out the skin. When you're using the mixer brush, you don't want to apply too much mixing at one section of the skin. Let's look at the before and after for that. So that's before and that's after. Alright, so the mixer brush will just flatten the skin and it brings everything together. Alright, I'm just using a bracket on the keyboard right here to get the brush smaller or bigger. So when you're using the mixer brush, you want to go in the same direction where the structure of the face, or the same direction where when the makeup artist is applying the makeup, you want to do the same. You want to follow the same direction, and the image will look more natural, well, and realistic. All right, so. Alright, so let's look at it before and after for what I've done so far. Let me just zoom this out a little bit. If you want to know the tablet I'm using, you can check the link in the description. You'll see it's called X Pen. It's about $86. Alright, I just noticed something just now when I zoom out the image. Alright, so let's look at the before and after. Let me just zoom this up a little bit more and show you the before and after again. So before and after. Alright, good. So sometimes when we have like sun coming through, there are times I'll fix it, I'll like get rid of this, and there are times I'll just leave it. But let's see if I'm gonna leave it for this one. I don't even remember if I, you know what, let me take a look to see if I actually removed it from the image that I've done. I'm gonna see. Let me try to find it. Actually, yes, I did. I removed it. It's no longer there. So I guess I have to remove it now. Alright. So the mixing looks okay so far. Just gonna mix some more right there. So remember, the mixing is basically just blending the skin, and when you're mixing, you want to stay in one area at a time. So if the area has no highlights, you stay there, and the area that has highlights, you stay there. So you don't want to do the highlights and then go over to the dark area. You want to do the highlights and then move and go over to the dark area. So right here is a little bit dark, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the color correction tool, and I'm just going to try to get, if you notice right here is dark, I'm going to try to sample from here by holding on Alt. Oh, before I do that, I have to press B on the keyboard for the brush. I'm going to put my opacity for the flow at 1%, and I'm just going to sample, and then I'm just going to brush the area right here that is dark and try to match it with that area. So let's look at it before and after. Before, after, before, after. Alright, for some reason it looks a little bit more darker than before. Let's see, before, after. Alright, so I'm not going to use that technique because it doesn't look like it's working like it should. So what I'm going to do then is to use curve. So I'm going to get my curves layer, and I'm going to bring this up, and then I'm going to click on the curves layer right here, and then I'm going to Control I, no, not that, Control I just press Control Alt, I just press Alt I, which is incorrect. So, and then I'm still on the brush at 1%. I'm just going to paint in this section here. Alright, that looks good. So there are more than one ways to do things. It's never one way. Alright, so what I'm going to do right now is to remove the shadow from here. That's coming from the eyelash. So I'm just gonna come back down here to, you know what, I'm gonna create a new frequency separation layer. So I'm gonna go back to the background and click frequency separation. And then I'm gonna click the frequency separation that I've just created, and then Control Shift and then the right bracket to bring it to the top. And then I'm just gonna go to the high frequency layer, get my patch tool, and I'm just gonna make the selection right here and just drag it down. Alright, so that, I'm not sure if I like that, so I'm gonna do a different technique. I'm gonna go S for the clone stamp tool, then I'm gonna sample and paint. Sample and paint. So that did a better job than using the patch tool. Awesome. All right. Now I have to get rid of the dark spot right there. What I could try is to go back to that color correction layer, press B on the keyboard for the brush, make a sample, maybe right here, and then use the brush and just brush this area. Let's look at it before and after. All right. Oh, you know what's happening? It's not. This looks better. I guess the area that I've selected is not dark enough. Well, it's not light enough. So I have to select this area right here. Alright, something is not right. Oh, I see what's happening. Let me see. Okay, I see what's happening. I believe I was actually making the adjustment on this layer here. I don't know. I think I was doing something wrong. Alright, that looks good. So now we have to match here with here. So what we're going to do now, instead of using the brush, we're going to create a dodge layer to match it. And then I'm at 1%, so I'm just going to paint under the eye. Because we have both under eye should look the same. Alright, that's it. Let me zoom out and see what it looks like. It looks okay. Alright, so I'm just going to highlight the chin. And remember, keep it at 1% for the flow. Then I'm going to highlight the forehead. And a little part right here as well. Then I'm going to highlight the nose bridge. Then I'm going to zoom up a little bit more, and I'm going to highlight right here. Right here as well. Good. Then I think I could highlight here as well, even though I didn't have any light going there. I could still highlight right there. And I don't think I like that, so I'm going to undo that. And that one. Yeah. Alright. So doing dodging can actually shape the face. Dodge and burn actually shapes the face. So yeah. So I'm going to go to burn now. And then I'm just going to highlight the dark areas. Just to shape the face. Right here. Side of the nose. Right. Just like that. So if you have your images, you can follow along with me with your image. So let's look at it before and after. I'm going to go down to the background layer. I'm going to hold on an Alt on the keyboard and press the eye. So that's the before, that's the after. That's the before, that's the after. It's a drastic change. Alright, so I'm gonna work on our eyes real quick. I'm gonna go to the top layer right here. Then I'm going to click on the option here that says clean eyes and teeth. If you want to download my actions, you can check the link in the description, and you can even check the card for instructions on how to install my actions. Alright, so what I'm going to do now, I'm still on the brush at 1%, but I'm going to change this to 24% for the flow, and I'm going to paint the eyes. Just get it a little bit white. Don't want it to look fake. Then we can clean the teeth as well. Alright, that looks good. Let's look at it before and after for that. Let me put it like right here. Before and after. We could brighten the eyes a little bit, so wait. I'm gonna go to curves, then bring this up. Then click on the curves masking layer, then hold on control and an I to invert. And then what you could do now is to zoom up your image, and then I'm gonna go back to 1% for the flow, and then we're gonna just paint. Actually, 1% is too low. I'm gonna go 45% and just paint. Alright, that's too bright, so I'm just gonna lower the opacity. I'm gonna lower the fill. Just like that. Good. We could clean up the eyes a little bit. Let me just come to the high frequency layer. Press J on the keyboard for the patch tool. I'm just gonna clean the eyes a little bit. Oh, that's the wrong one. Should be working on this one. Just removing a few things from the eyes, or from the eye. Alright, that's good. I think I want to remove this as well. Want to blend out here as well. Alright, that looks good. I'm going to zoom it out. Alright, so I like this. This looks really good. So I'm going to brighten the image now. Zoom up to the top. I'm going to hold it on Control, Shift, Alt, E to create a new layer. Control J to duplicate it. Then Control Shift A to get camera raw. I'm gonna go to auto and see what it looks like. Auto looks good. I love what auto looks like. Good. But I'm gonna bring the shadows in a little bit like that. Then I am going to play with the dehaze a little bit, see what it looks like. Alright, I don't think I need to play with the dehaze. I'm gonna change the background color a little bit, so I'm gonna come right here to the HSL option. And then under hue, I'm just going to play with the green. Yeah, I like the green. And then play with the yellows a little bit, like that. Good. I'm done. So I'm going to go back to the frequency separation again. I think I want to blend out the face a little bit more. So I'm going to come down here again to the background layer. I'm going to create a group. I'm going to copy the background layer. Then I'm going to go here, then frequency separation again, and then click on the frequency separation I've just created. Control Shift right bracket to bring it to the top. Go down to the low frequency layer. M on the keyboard for the mixer brush. Your mixer brush is nested under brushes, and we're just gonna just blend it out a little bit. Awesome. Alright, good. So I am done with that portion. So what I'm going to do now is I think I want to get rid of some of the highlights first though. Let me get the curves and bring it down a little bit like that. Good. Before and after. Alright, so that's it for the image. I'm just going to apply my color lookup and then put it at 50%. And then I'm going to apply my blues for the shadows, and I am done. So let me just pull up I'm going to create a before and after. Let me create a new. I'm going to create a new layer, duplicate the layer. And then I'm going to arrange and then vertical up, 2 vertical up. and then I'm gonna show you the before and after. So alright, so that's the before and that's the after. Alright guys, so if you've enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up if you learned anything at all from this video. And you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and stay tuned for more videos. We know how to be